Так, сейчас опять должна была запуститься трансляция, блядь. Ебаная, блядь.
Amiga might have caught lightning in a bottle on that last map, but they're up against Tesla himself. Fallen on the other side is bringing this one home for Furia. This is Furia trying to get back to form. They were caught off guard. They were not expecting the results of Mirage. Here, it might have started very impressively with an ace from Zwei. All in all, it peters out to a somewhat underwhelming T-side put forward from Nemiga. They will have their work cut out for them as they trail behind 4-8. Moving on to the CT half of things.
Так, прием.
Furia came into this one with a vengeance, and it's all eyes on now to see if that keeps up in this second half. Immediately, the hero of the first pistol round has been dinked down to 40.
It's nice pathing for Furia because they run along the right wall of alt mid, so when he jump spots, he actually doesn't even see them.
Получается, у нас въебало нас зверь, нахуй, кейсерата. Кейсерата у нас будет проходить. Ну, смотрите, это выход на А. Тут двое игроков Немиги. Привет, малые пески. У нас почти вся команда Фури. Кан. Пикая. Кейсерат убивает Хантера на банане. Идет пикает, убивает Лира. И я тебе скорее всего пистолет. А, хотел убивать Фоллена. Да, это пистолет за командой Фури. Хотя риски бук убивает чела. А чела, блядь. Дабл пик.
Back to business for Furia.
Nice.
It's a good sign.
It's their way or the high's way, as that pistol round does not come through for Nemiga. Head in their hands at the end of that one. That was their best chance to try and grind something out in this second half. Instead, going to be left with but a handful of rifle rounds here between them and their defeat.
Ну, Кейсерата сейчас дал 2 важных минуса, как произвело победе Фурии. Фурия как будто, кстати, в форме. Не знаю, она когда вернулась в форму. Есть такое? Мне кажется, есть. Даблы? Не? Короче, объясняю, в чем суть этого бласта. Вот видите, тут баунти 20 тысяч. Команды слабые выбирают, которые баунти, но выбирают себе команду. То есть у нас играли. Получается, у нас играли здесь. Вот вылетели все. Против нами, кстати, играла первая женская команда, которая впервые играла на тир-1. Это, блядь, за всю историю, нахуй. Я-то смотрел, но не мог стримить. Бля, ебать, где их просто классно. Кстати, 4 в 3, хотя, бля, если еще одну убьют.
You don't normally cast these at all with any sincerity that the pistols are going to pick it up.
It's just positions now. Inferno post plant. These are hard with rifles, so.
Не, они просто убивают. Так, вот тут. Тори, Кэт, хует.
Nice, well played from Fallen. Knows he can't get away, so he's going to hang around for the kill. Yeah, they keep doing this. They did them even in gun rounds, but especially on these ecos. These 1-4, they do an Astralis stack, and then they have Zwei either with a Deagle or a Zeus, whatever he's doing, on the other side of the map. And my god, they've made these full ecos extremely interesting in this series. So little invested and so much output, but unfortunately at 10-4, it's rifle round or bust.
Well, because they've always been good at finding damage, they've always had these chances to reset Furia early, and in the past that's been a nice chance for a second win.
Небольшая минка-хуюка. От G2 против B8 охуенный матч. Ну, это тоже, в принципе, заебись. Но у меня просто чувство-то какого-то бэдмум проебут в 0. Вот тут интересно. Вот тут тоже, кстати, всосали в 0 на мажоре B8. Просто, блин, хуй в рот взяли, блядь, извиняюсь. А ну подожди, форма номер?
Skulls over in the apartments.
Это мажор 23-го года такая же.
Picked from the pit, and now they're ready for Khan on this angle. It's not the best of fights for Khan. It's really awkward as he's pinned in. He has to pick an angle, commit to a fight. He chooses Cello, he chooses wrong. 4v3 as the sight falls in favor of Fury, and Cello's not overextending on this lurk at the long side. He's just going to slow down these rotates. His presence there earlier on, enough to waste time for Nemiga. Time that they simply do not have.
Yeah, hey, Fury gave them a chance by sabotaging Yuri, but
Ну, как будто ГГ.
perfect flash from Fallen and Skull and
Идут
Cello.
сейвить, им, в принципе, это и надо делать. Просто 100% так надо делать.
Leah, Risky Bob and Xanta. Not many kills between them.
Как он сейчас его Риски Боб и Зентер бил, да?
Come hunting, so Furia on the dawn of an
Все
ending game,
правильно, Зентер.
a 2-1. Nemiga need these guns if they want to stay competitive here in this series. Even one casualty is costly.
На, нахуй, двое их.
But they just survive.
I mean, there's going to give them a fighting chance in this next round.
What happened here? Oh, he tried to nade the smoke, but
А,
they
так тут
double
Юрий
naded
хуй дали.
him. So it would have been fine. It would have done 6 damage.
Yeah.
But he was already low. That is unfortunate. That's not even like a blunder.
Чел пол блайнд, оказывается, просто пикает у нас. Так, ну тут тоже бай будет. В принципе, у нас Риски Боба только вообще, блять. У него первый армор и нет диффузов. Выкидывает всякие гранаты Лир, почти все, кроме смока. Вставляет себе. На занятие банана команды Фурия.
Nemiga have the firepower to make it like
Полный
force
ждет.
it to be weird. Sway's even quieted down. Bear in mind he started this map with an
Подбирает
ace. Since
пачку
that point he's
и
had 7
подходит.
kills, which sure he's still top in the charts. He's
Вот это тайминг ебан выиграл, это, блядь.
They didn't punish him.
they had a chance. I mean, this is kind of
Мне кажется, он видел, что чел кейсерата подошел близко. Там по-любому он видел, блядь. Но он уходит назад, либо тоже может подсочку может завертеть. Правильно сделал.
I don't know, when you get offered a freebie like that, Nemiga earlier on Mirage would have taken that. So now they just have to go into something more standard. It's a 4-1 split here, bit of a gamble over towards the A site.
Что за тигр этот Кан, бля? А ну чела. Проверим. Их умирает, если Боб разменивает, Пулс умирает, разменивает Кан. Хороший заход Хантера, убивает Фокна. Опять же у нас будет с вами пауза, дорогие друзья. Опа, Кейсерат убивает Лира. Да не нахуй. Вот такая у нас пиздец произошла, бля. Дальше у нас остается 2 в 2 Хантер против. Уже 2 в 1 Кан против остается Юриха и Кейсерата. Услышал Кан, что чел был на пуле, но как-то он, блядь, сука, пикал, блядь, так нахуй. Нихуя, брат, а чё тебя съебало? Тебя покусали комары, блядь?
But it might end the way that it started, feeling a little bit disjointed. They don't have the protocols, don't have the individuals, only Sway matching up with the opposition. Final timeout used for the...
Тут опять же ставка и пошла нахуй какая-то, блядь. OT. Как вы думаете? Я либо в глаза ебусь, либо тут написано, что овертаймы будут. Тут должно было написано быть да или нет, но тут нет. Я выбираю нет.
Put themselves, or rather
Такой
keep
чисто
themselves
немного
in a very threatening position, not just having and keeping the $20,000, but remaining as arguably the best seed number 9, able to pick an opponent, their first opponent.
Так, ну и последний бай, блядь, на все деньги, которые что нахуй есть. Риски Бобы просто купили себе с парой, иди нахуй. На пару с Вейхом купили себе просто первый армор и емочки. Но ебать у них сетапчик тут. Ой, блядь, а когда у нас нахуй не залагивал? Извиняюсь, ебать. на море мой.
Again, the quad mid stacked
Бля,
up.
ебать
Live
качество
30
хуйня
alone on this
ебаная.
B site.
Ты еще мне, блядь, шлюха. Делай ты еще.
Trying to feed it somewhat. He wants to give.
Еще, бля, мразь. Ах, ты сучка, бля. Ладно, 720, давай, похуй. Не жалко, блядь.
Know that Fury got info from that peak, and you're still dedicating a lot.
Ну, кстати, пока мы, блядь, дрочили ебаным качеством, блядь, тут Fallen откис от Хантера. И он откис, я так понял, на банане. И Сарата пытается пройти, кидается ему молик, но не отходит. Теперь пробегает, после бежит нахуй, наглую, блядь, один. Типа фейкует, но тут у нас, блядь, Лир, ой, точнее, Звеих убивает двоих. Остается один Юрий. Юрих умирает.
Not today. Namiga holds strong and keep 5 in this. Nice boost setup as well. There's a chance that Fury even heard a player drop off it, but they weren't ready for 2. They saw a short and long player already, but Namiga stayed tight. There's definitely talent on this team. That's my takeaway, but it would take more than individuals to bring you back in this game. I like these ideas. They've got a lot of cool little tricks. The double nades again for the pit. It's only pistols for Furia. Should make quick work. Oh no.
Пизда.
That timing, but he does dodge the flash.
Кстати, если не умрет, умрет. Ну как, есть денег, типа, ну. Наращивается экономика потихоньку, команды не бегал. Не бегал. Набегай. Забыл.
They spread themselves fairly thinly, right? They keep a lot of options open by allowing Keserato room over at B. But they do have a support unit nearby to try and help him, and they have
Ну нахуй, Редбульчик пошел на заряд, блядь.
So, wonder if Namiga keep running that back. There kind of is a timer on that play. You can't play quad mid every round. That will lose you the game, or so you'd like to think. As eventually Furia will get up to speed. They have 6 chances to close out this series. And it exploded in the top of
Ну вот он, члену, блядь. Что вы хотели от члена, блядь? Член взял и в рот дал на двоим, нахуй. Хантер, он умрет здесь, скорее всего, да, он умирает от скулза. Хотя забирает с собой Fallen, и один хлеб для Лира, Лир. Флач оргей, нахуй, у нас сейчас происходит. Флач оргей. Лер у нас умирает через 3, 2, 1. Нихуя. Не, тут точно умрет, тут за ЗАХОДИ. На, нахуй. Он пошел сгорел. Ёбаный урод, блядь. 2-1 у нас проебывает Немига. А как они нахуй не рашивают, без таким нахуй? Здесь бан. Дальше у нас в 19:30. Ну, уже через 9 минут у нас будут, короче, бэтбумы против Маус. Так что... Я оставляю с вами с этими, блядь, сука. Извиняюсь, с дебилами, бля.
Next stage of this wonderful tournament. Also good to see them bounce back after what was a disaster on Mirage. Let's be completely honest, right? They pick Mirage, you think for yourself, this is going to be a 2-0 victory for Furia. Couldn't quite get it going, but here in Inferno, there was almost only one team on the server, like we kinda expected coming into the series.
Yeah, it never really got dangerous for the guys on the Furia side. They seemed to be in control throughout the entirety of the Inferno, and you know, they were also firing on the majority of the cylinders, especially Keserato, Yuri, and also Skulls for meta. Fallen had their things, you know, everyone contributed and had some good fights. So I think it's also hard to go up against an opposition when everyone is just, you know, firing back.
Yeah, shout out Cello as well. Stylish both outside and inside the server.
Yeah, a great turnaround. I think he was arguably the least performing player on the Furia side. On Mirage couldn't get anything going whatsoever on that T side, which was a big issue for them. Coming into Inferno, instantly bounce back. You see the highlight package right here from Cello as well. He was helping on Banana, he was helping on towards the bigger bomb side. He was a little bit of everywhere. And it's good to see Cello activated. We spoke about it, Peter, as well. He's kind of this soldier within the lineup. He's willing to do everything that's needed from him. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes he will have games like Mirage. But when it does work out for Cello, he's a player on the server that has an awful lot of impact.
And something I also paid attention to, obviously, was Fallen going for these very iconic aggressive moves, you know, going inside Boiler, trying to get Banana kills, even shooting a guy through the wall on Banana. You know, it is hard to do anything against that type of plays. But, you know, when he's doing it great.
Now, Jacob, you alluded to the fact that Furia are going to be picking in the next round. They're going to get first pick. You also used the word wonderful, I think. Wonderful they get to do that. It ain't looking too cute, though, because they've got some hard teams. Obviously, you know, what happens with G2 and Mouse, we're presuming that those most wanted will go through, but this is going to be a tough challenge for them, right?
It is going to be a tough challenge. I would urge everyone to stay awake tonight and watch the light draft, because that could be very, very interesting. Obviously, Furia, they have the first pick. You're looking towards a team like, as of right now, either Liquid or Falcons would be the two obvious picks, and for many cool reasons, it would be kind of cool if Fallen would pick into Liquid. As we know, there's a little bit of history right now.
Maybe we can ask him exactly that, because I do believe we have Fallen on the line. First of all, huge congratulations.
And can get better from there.
Now, I don't want to call you old, but you are kind of old in a sense, you know, especially in the Counter-Strike world. Do you feel an extra pressure to find some form early on, knowing that you're probably not going to be around for the next 10 years, right? Do you feel pressure knowing that this could be one of your final rosters as well?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel that my goal is to get another Brazilian team to the top. I have been working towards that for the last years. And of course, there's a sense of urgency on that, but I have a completely understanding that this sense of urgency is not going to help me anyway. So in the end, I'm just focusing on coming here into the basics, making sure I enjoy the process of going through the practice, making sure I enjoy every team huddle and enjoy every clutch, every call I do. So I try to take it each piece at the moment, and I think that's the best way to go. Even though, yeah, of course, I want to win right away. I think everyone does.
Yeah, you sound like a guy who's still in love with Counter-Strike. Is that correct interpreted? Do you still love this game and love playing it?
Yeah, definitely. I love Counter-Strike. It's been part of my life. You know, we didn't on this HLTV awards recently. I was able to meet the Counter-Strike creator. It was such a nice feeling, you know, getting to meet someone that you know for sure got a big role in changing your life. You know, I think my life has been always path around Counter-Strike. So yeah, I do feel a lot of joy practicing, competing, trying to get another Brazilian team to the top, and also creating a lot of content, making sure another Brazilian community is hyped about following the teams and learning about the game. So yeah. It's always been what I like to do about CS, and I'm just doing the best I can.
Hey Fallen, man, it's good to see you. I'm glad that I get a chance to ask you a question here. We go back in the days, you and I, we've been competing against each other for a long time, and obviously I'm very curious to hear now that you also made your way into Furia. Like, what is your biggest drive as a player right now? You've tried so many things, and like your legacy is just so big. I'm curious to hear, like, what is your drive? What keeps you motivated to keep going on?
Yeah, you know, I have a complete understanding that it is the last part of my career. You know, I don't want to extend this too much. There's a lot of things that I miss out because of the athlete life. You know, there's a lot of travel, a lot of big schedule. You know? I don't spend much time home. But at the same time, I kind of feel that my career deserves a better ending somehow. You know, I think I managed to win a lot of things I wanted to win. won 2 majors, I think 11 or 12 big tournaments in CSGO, so many other tournaments in CS 1.6. So I'm pretty quite satisfied with what I did. But since the last 3 or 4 years, it was all about trying to do it again with a different type of players in a different moment of their lives and all those things. So the drive is completely about that. And another thing that gets me hyped up as well is the fact that, for example, for this tournament and for this semester, I bring my video maker. He was only editing from Brazil before. He was making my YouTube channel videos and stuff, but he's gonna be on the road with me for 6 months, and he's vlogging every single day of this journey, and he's creating a lot of content. So that's another path, another thing that I think is very important for athletes, to make sure that stay connected with their community. And I feel like in Brazil I can do that very well, and I'm very happy to be able to show how the athlete life is for everyone else in Brazil. Maybe some English subs soon.
Yeah, by all means, please tell us where we can find that kind of content. I want to watch that, and I'm sure the people at home would love to watch as well.
Yeah, it's on YouTube channel Follow Insider, and right now it's only in Portuguese. But maybe I'm going to add it into English subtitles if people are interested into it.
Please do.
Yeah.
Fallen, one more question, just because we have quite a unique format here at Blast Bounty. Now, you're 9th seed, which means the next round, which is going to be drawing tonight, you'll get to draw your opponent first. I'm just curious if you have your eye on any of the teams we have at the moment. Obviously, Liquid, they're 8th, Falcon 7th, FaZe, Spirit, Vitality, Na'Vi. We're presuming G2 and MOUZ will probably win their games later today. Anybody standing out for you?
Yeah, a lot of hard teams, but to be honest, I heard you guys talking about picking Team Liquid. I would not go that way. I think we lost the last 3 or 4 games against them. I think we have better chance against other teams. I think when it gets to this top 8, like it doesn't really matter which team we're gonna get. It's gonna be a pain in the ass anyway. You know, it's gonna be a very hard team to beat. So it's all about finding the matchup that we think is gonna be the best. I didn't have any conversation about that yet. We're taking one game at a time. But yeah, let's pick the one that gives us the more money.
Oh, okay, a
like
bounty
that.
hunter
I like
indeed. Living up to the name. Thank you so much, Fallen. We'll let you get off, and yeah, we'll hear from you later this evening in the draw show.
Thank you, guys.
I love to hear that. This is one of the first times we've actually got a player being like, yeah, we're going for the money now. Like, we've got our first game over the line. Now we want the big bucks.
I'm not calling Fallen a liar because I actually think he meant that. But I think when he speaks to his teammates and when he speaks to the management around Furia, maybe they'll reconsider that statement just for another time. Because if there's one thing that is slightly more attractive than the money right now, that is getting a spot inside this studio as well. And they need to win one more game before they can qualify to the land stage of this. So if I'm Fallen, I'll probably wait with the money and then go for the easy opponent.
What do you think? True or false from Fallen there?
I mean, I think Fallen, he's a guy that stays.
I believe him.
He's a guy that stays true to his word. So maybe we're seeing, Furia's spirit.
I think it's going to be 4 against Fallen. You know, maybe he wants to, but I think Furia would like to.
Sounds like
progress.
it's a democracy over there in Furia. But alas, we must move on as 2 more games for stage 1 going down this evening. We're going to be rounding out today with G2 versus Bay. Not before we dive into BetBoom team versus MOUZ. We'll see you on the other side.
Bye.
you got to pick your opponent out of the most wanted teams. You guys went with MOUZ. Why was that?
You know, it was 3 teams. It was Spirit, Navi, Spirit, FaZe, and MOUZ Sports. But I think, like, for our map pool and just for our feelings, the MOUZ was the best pick. So, you know, like, you can't prepare really good for any team because the start of the season, it's, you know, new strat books, rules, and new players, new teams. So it was like our feelings. That's all.
Knowing Boomage is a very active caller, so I'm also expecting that a lot from them, from this roster as well. I think it's an exciting team. I like the way Boomage calls, so happy to play against him and feel it on a server. But yeah, we'll see on the server. There's
And here we have it. The last 2 games of stage 1 for the bounty, and the last time we get to see these bounty hunters try and get their chance at some of the money on the most wanted. I'm your host, James Banks, and I've got 2 phenomenal analysts by the side of me, Mr. Maui Snake and Vu. How are we feeling today, guys?
Great, great. We're ending the round of 32, James. Some of the most lopsided matches you could hope for. A lot of the favorites actually remain unscathed.
Even online?
Yes, which is surprising. People say online CS is random, but I'm kind of impressed with how the favorites have played so far.
I mean, you can't really complain. Pretty much the only favorites that have lost, I think, are basically the favorites you expected to lose. Like, you expect Complexity not to be able to take on VP.
The favorites.
I mean,
the
Heroic
favorites.
3D Max, I think, was the biggest upset, and you can't really say that's a huge upset.
No, we maybe doubted a bit of what this new Heroic could do, but Saw still stands strong as making his lineups and making his rosters work. But let's get on to our game we got at hand, the first one for us here on this evening shift, and it's MOUZ taking on the BB team. And for MOUZ, right, they got a gift this Christmas. No one was able to take Yimfat away from them, and he was rumored for what? Falcons, Vitality, I don't know, many teams are trying to get their hands on him. G2, for instance.
And that's got to be the big story here for MOUZ. The fact that they've got a new lease on life, that it almost felt like a foregone conclusion that these 5 players would no longer play with each other. In fact, I think that's maybe even how we broke it down in the postgame at the Major. We might have said, like, this is the last time we're probably seeing that roster. Well, how the tables have turned and how Yimpat has actually stayed on. I'm surprised that, you know, nobody couldn't pull him away. Like, Yimpat just, again, he's an anchor in the server. He's an anchor out of the server. You can't drag this guy anywhere. He's gonna stay.
Yeah, I mean, the narrative around MOUZ now has to go back to, instead of where's Yimpat going, you have to ask, how are they going to fix the problems they've been having? They've been having problems in big events. They've been having problems in playoffs. They've got an insanely talented roster, but can they bring it to the next level? Can they get to a major final? Can they win a major with this roster?
How do you think, though, for the rest of the team this feels? Because, like, if I'm the rest of the team, it's like, okay, Yimfat stayed, and now we need to deliver, but there are glaringly obvious problems.
I feel pretty good that nobody was able to pull him away. Like, I have to assume, you know, teams like Vitality, teams like G2 were probably looking at him. And so in some ways, him staying is actually a vote of confidence for the other members on the team, that he sees a better future with MOUZ as they are than perhaps going to a G2, even though they have a Monacy, or maybe even going to a Zywoo on Vitality. Like, he's liking what he's getting out of this roster, and that's why I really rate MOUZ highly. Like, these guys have so much trust in each other. They're all from the same, well, 4 of them are from the same academy project in general, and so Yimpat just kind of on this train right now, and he's trying to just make sure that everything's going accordingly with MOUZ, and I'm glad he stayed course.
Well, let's find out what's going on in the MOUZ camp. I did catch up with Shuhei ahead of this game. Shuhei, it was some very positive news for the start of the season that Yimfat was staying with you guys. I want to come back to this in a little bit of asking you, how did it feel when you had all these rumors, and how do you think it's affected the team, or is everything all good?
I don't think it affected the team at all. If anything, then maybe it made our team even stronger, knowing that we all believe in the project. So, yeah, I think we were all happy with the decision.
For sure, and I definitely would be too. Now, you guys had a pretty good 2024. I know you would want more trophies, but do you guys understand what needs to happen in this team to develop further and be able to challenge for the trophies in 2025?
Yes, I think we're all aware of the situation we are in, and knowing that 2024 was a pretty good year for us. Coming into 2025, we know that we need to step up and change a lot of things to be able to compete in the semifinals, in the finals of the biggest tournaments, as that is something that we struggle on throughout the last year. So yeah, we're gonna work a lot and we're gonna change a few stuff, try out a few different things. So we're gonna be excited for this year.
And that's what they have to do, right? Because it wasn't like they were playing bad, but something needs to change in order for this team to go further forward.
Yeah, I mean, individually, they might not be the #1 team in the world, but when you play them in a group stage, they beat Spirit many times. They've beat all the best teams in the world. It's just when they get into those hype moments, into those pressure moments, they just seem to crumble completely.
I feel like the problems with MOUZ come down to a few of their individuals, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
It's not probably going to be a big effect to them playing BetBoom online right now today, but I've seen Exertion have a massive drop-off in his individual level when he's under pressure. Feels like he just takes too many liberties, almost just follows a plan to a T instead of thinking about his own, what he's doing in the round. So I just want him to like find some composure, basically, in big moments.
Well, looking at a very different side of things here, looking at the VB team, they are in a position right now where they get a great new in-game leader. This is a huge upgrade for them. And they get Axel come in as well, where I would say that, okay, Axel's not looking at his greatest strength right now, but this is still a positive sign overall for this whole core.
I am so happy with this move for BetBoom. I actually really do rate it highly. Not even just because, I mean, people know that I had my qualms with how Nafany liked to call. I thought he was calling a little bit of a better game with this roster than he did actually with the Cloud9 before. But let's just compare the two briefly here. Like, BetBoom team didn't qualify for either major last year. And let me tell you, Boomich qualified for both as an in-game leader one time without an offer, and they made it to the playoffs of the Copenhagen major. The second time, he did it with practically rookies beside him. And so this guy needs to be rated much higher in terms of in-game leaders when it's like the duress that he's under, the pieces that he's given, it doesn't even really always seem to matter. He's making it work in so many different constellations.
Okay, but he made it to the major with Electronic, with Axile. I think, was Heavy God on the team at the time?
That was the second time he made it.
There was no offer, but they had insane talent. And I mean,
he was the offer actually sometimes.
True.
So he made it work.
But you had Nafany playing with Chiron.
A talent that many people rated highly. He had Zorte, who Jerry got to the major before. Siren got to the major before with Chopper. Like, you look at all the pieces that Nafany got to work with. Many people have gotten those guys to majors in the past, and Magnajez is Donk's best friend.
Let me counter you with one, okay? This is a team with Nafany as their
я еще не знаю, какая завтра таблица. Завтра, по идее, точнее, сегодня должны выставить где-то в часов 12 ночи, я думаю. Там таблица W, наверное. Что-то меня... Я за целый день нихуя не ел.
This is an upgrade on paper, okay? Like, for me, it's a big upgrade. Chiron for Axel, I think some people might rate Axel kind of low because of the steep drop-off that he had. In actually what he did at some of the big events last year, he was pretty solid, like 1.12 at both majors last year over 17 maps. Like, that's a pretty decent sample size against good teams. So he's not the same guy that he was 3 years ago, but he's still a really competent rifler.
But that's what we keep talking about, right? Axel overall, is this a player that can make a difference in this roster as well? Can he be the star of this team?
I'd say his floor is way higher than Chiron's. Chiron would just fall off a cliff sometimes in certain games for BetBoom. So I feel like Axel knows his role a little bit better and can kind of actually, I think the last year of trials for Axel, in my eyes, he passed them like lightly. He really moved out of the initial Nafany groove system, had to play a different style of CS, which took some adjusting to. And for me, it's like he passed with a B-, but I feel like people are acting like he failed that test. He didn't fail it to me.
Yeah, people are kind of comparing him both to his older self, where he was a top 5 player back-to-back years, and to how Heavy God did in that system, because Heavy God looked like exactly the same player. But when you analyze Axel, just based on Axel, just how well did he do, I think people are kind of sleeping on him, honestly.
Well, let's catch up with Boomich and see how he's feeling ahead of this game.
Boomich, great to get to catch up with you again. I just want to reflect on Cloud9 last season. Obviously, the rebuild you tried with Icy and Heavy God didn't really work out. Why did you decide to
W, все, ебать, меня аж нахуй, сука, силы, ебать, вернулись.
This is new year, new team, and of course it was two rosters with Cloud9, with Electronic, Perfect and Hobbit, and Heavy got Inters and IC. We was trying to do our best on the tournaments, you know, and they work a lot, but
Work minyan, блядь.
Sometimes, you know, you need to think about your life and your team, and I think like 5 players after the major thinks about why it didn't work. So and you know, we feel this decision like on ourselves. So you know, for me, new team, and for Exile, for Heavy God, for Icy, for everyone, I'm happy. So you know, we are motivated, and next year I think everyone, it's really cool, you know.
And for Boomich, he is a man that has come back in, right, from his Na'Vi days to 1 win, then going back to Cloud9. Okay, it didn't work out, even with some great pieces he had, but here he has a chance to show it once again that he can lead some players.
Команда еще раз Bad Boom у нас. Магнат, Аксель, Бумыч, Сирень и Зорда. Да нахуй. Ох, извиняюсь.
Like I said, I mean, he has the accolades now as an in-game leader that has made some kind of busted lineups pass, and that's really, for me, why I feel like this is an upgrade, and why BetBoom today, they have a chance, even though I won't say that they're the favorites necessarily.
Так, бан Инферно от Bad Boom, бан Нубис от Маузов. Пик получается Bad Boom. Даст 2 Маузес КТ, Нюк ББ КТ, бан Трейн, бан Энчант и Мираж. Даст 2 и Нюк Мираж. W, наверное. Вот Нюк W, остальное, в принципе. Если там вместо Нюка была ебаная Инферно, я бы нахуй убился, блядь. Осуждаю, не всякий пожарный.
Happened in practice to make them think that. Like, he really loved picking Ancient last season, for
example. I guess this has to be a melding of what everybody
felt in practice. On the other hand, Mao's picking Nuke, I think that's just a great punish for if you're playing against a team that has never really played an official as a 5-man lineup. Rotations are going to be always really difficult there.
Yeah, I mean, Dust 2, when you look at their players, you're kind of thinking they're going to be good at Dust 2. Obvious pick by Mao's for Nuke, and then you end up on Mirage. Sad it's not trained, but I mean, these are 3 maps I think both teams are relatively comfortable on.
We've been blessed with a lot of trains, so we can't be too sad for now, but let's get ourselves into the opening game between Mao's and BB team. We got Scrawny and Launders.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Yeah, nothing to be sad about.
Да, я ебаный долбоёб, что ты скажешь, мой братанчик, да. Вот я прикрываю свой стояк, чтобы вы не видели, да, вот... да, я не хейчу Маус, но я хочу сказать, что Bad Boom намного сильнее этих ебаных бомжей, если шлюх. Так что мы их отъебем, точнее они их отъебут, блядь. Вот, мы видим ебальники нахуй команд, насколько они заряжены, просто отсасывают друг друга. Поехали, начинается у нас игра. 0-0 пистолетный раунд, W, друзья. Бэдум за атаку, за защиту Мауза, кидается хаешка, очень хорошая. Ух, хороший вантап от Сиюхи и посос от Акселя. Аксель отъебал Сиюху, сына Сиюхи. Но Браун будет пикать, я думаю. Да. Выходят, Аксель убивает, кстати, Бролана. Блять, до сих пор. Но у него 1 хп. Но его надо первым выпускать, очевидно.
I think they threw that smoke just to make it seem like it was a fake. They thought they were going to be pushing up aggressively for a retake, and instead it was a long range duel that Exile wins. He's down to 1 health.
Бам-бам-бам. На нахуй, бам. Адякс, он спини. 10 хп остается Торщик. Смог КТ. Кудрявый как будто. Да.
BetBoom team just sat back, sitting on this corner over and over. Another smoke. That's a CT smoke picked up. So.
Ну нахуй, агрессия на минус Черень, Джемпад минус Бумыч. Зорт убивает Джемпата.
And Zorte still looking to kind of be the hero at this point. We can't forget that Axile is only on that measly 1 point of HP. Essentially same as Torji, who keeps his head down off of boxes. It really feels like Xerxin at any moment is going to come roaring in from behind, jumping Beretta headshot. I don't think so. Now the hand's no longer busy. Axel's going to have to clutch with that 1 health. 2 kills in, 2 more to go. Can't manage. And we get Maus on the retake for the pistol round win.
Yeah, it's slow. It's like kind of it's
Боже, бля, как легко.
Boom's reads aren't there, but they're still getting kills when they're trying to push up.
Боже, боже.
We get a bomb plant for Betboom. I think that's
На
a
нахуй.
slight win considering the situation. But yeah, not the cleanest pistol round here from either side.
Это вообще пиздец залетел
I'm
нахуй.
pretty excited to see this Betboom lineup play. I think that composition-wise, it's looking nice to me. Like to see a second chance for players like Axel and Boomich, and obviously it'll always haunt Axel to have reached the highs that he did just a few years ago.
Surely.
But at the same time, I think there's been enough time out of that period where it's really like now he has to prove it again, and I think we can stay comfortably in that spot. I think even Maui brought up some stats that show that at the majors and at some games even last year,
Ебало бам. Ебало просрел бам.
3,
2, 1 бам. Ну нахуй. Ой, бля, получает въебало у нас торщ. О, на нахуй, получает въебало у нас Бролан. 7 хп остается у майонеза. Ой, ебать. Ебать они их накосали, тут уже, блядь, 9.37 нахуй, 70 хп у чуваков, я его. Ну тут, кстати... Оно попадание по точке ему пизда. Я ебала, можно было на голову навестись?
Do you wish that Maus had made roster changes?
Короче, я гляну, если завтра будет интересный матч, подрублю, когда будет интересный.
So I'm kind of that mindset. I think Jimpat did have to swat a couple of offers as an anchor that was floating in a position where like Vitality were looking for one, where Rops was potentially going to change teams. So I think it was, nice. It does speak to at least their how much they believe in each other to make it work. And I think how much they value their.
Кстати, я сейчас глянул кафе на Boom 3.10 и на Маузов 1.35.
Honestly, I don't know if this is true, but you know, when Sergey's career ended, I think a lot of that had to do with his enjoyment playing CS with the team that he was playing on.
А нахуй, хорошая хаешка, очень хорошая. Но этого ничего не меняет, потому что у нас торчий урод сделал. Молекон с майонезом. Флешка от Бумича.
It's supposed to go, but even as somebody, Mohan, who cheers for Maus more often than others, I gotta say, last season. They gotta do it this season.
Будут врываться под флешку, ебать, он сейчас может убивать двоих. Поздно флешка полетела. Поэтому Цешин выходит, убивает только помощи, и майонез его разменивает. Все, это собственно было. W2-1, W, бля. Боже, ебать легко, такие вы бомжи, ебать.
Yeah, you can never know how much a team works and you know how seriously they took things, and knowing Shuhei and these guys and their progress, I'm sure they put in tireless amounts of work every day in a very competitive field that's hard to stand out in. But some of the points about Maus are that I think Jimpat could have ended as anchor of the year and been a bit more consistent. He had amazing peaks. Brolin is the most improved player from team to team, but within Maus itself, there were some games he was amazing, some games where he wasn't. And Exertion is probably the most important piece to be consistent, but you could really see when the pressure got to him in stage matches. And I feel like he provides something that, Dom provides to Spirit, and that's just a high consistency.
Торчи просто в рот взял, что
здесь. In terms of the raw opening attempts and stuff like that, it was very good and very important. And you really had to be paying attention and watching the games to see when there were moments where he was more hesitant to be himself.
Yeah.
But you could see it. Torsdy for me though, I think he's the
Зорта опять высматривает, ебать. Он ничего не заметил, кстати, на экране. На его экране буквально нахуй ничего не было, блядь. Ну, кстати, если победа будет бэтбум, то они заберут 300 тысяч в маус. Неплохо, неплохо. Ебать, Джерпад, блядь, выглядит так, как будто он нахуй, он, блядь, злой и какой-то пиздик, бля, хуй. Я уж извиняюсь, но так и есть. Ой, бля, извиняюсь, я вас коцнул немного. Ну, вообще похуй, бля, друзья. Игре. Смачок от Бумыча. Ну что, как совершенно в двери?
The Mongols in Shanghai kind of gave you one uptick, but then we're talking about another incredibly young roster, if not the youngest roster, and one that had never been on a stage like that. So if you can't even beat the Mongols in that moment, then it's a real true testament to the mouse choke that everybody loves to throw around.
Yeah. I'd say certainly like a touch overblown, but not completely. And you know, we got Shuhei major finalist. You know, like that's I think the most important person to be on.
Флешка откидывается от Сьюхи с Юхи. Кстати, может спокойно делать один минус, да, его сразу разменивает майонез. Сирень. Видит одного, убивает торчик, Сёршин разменивает. Убивает Бумыча. Ситуация 3 в 3. Уже проходит у нас сайт майонез, ставит пачку. Убивает сирень. Зершин заходит в смок, убивает. Ух, ебать, попадание Зорта. Бля, ебать ты, сука. Как ты тот попал, ебаный серв, бля. Убивает Брола. Жестко. Жестко от Зорты. Блядь.
You know, we talk about experience. Zorte's one, as I think Boo mentioned, highlighted the fact that Zorte was at that Paris major Jerry. You know, this is this to me is a very exile to be sat next to again.
I will just say though, on this peak, you know, they could have done a high-low and instant traded, but Brolin went wide before Jimpad did. He wasn't prepared for that, and they gave him a chance to get that 1-on-2. Now that the moment's over, he got the 1-on-3. Great moment, but.
Тим в 3 кстати, клатч. Нормально, клатч вальгей. Техническая пауза. Что случилось у них?
Gotta keep guys like me in check.
Yeah, but Zorte's got big moments all the time.
Hell yeah. Yeah. He was somebody who I thought specifically in Paris was going to wind up on a much bigger team than he did. You know, I thought that was going to be the moment of Paris. If I'm not mistaken, he finished the first stage challengers in Paris as the highest rated player.
It was insane.
Let me double check that because I don't want
Take pause.
Would hate to be a liar.
Dun 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 dun.
Last Paris Major 2023. Doesn't it feel like yesterday?
I was gonna say years ago, but
oh, okay. Third highest rated player of the Challenger stage, behind Monacy and JKS, who both played 4 maps compared to Zorte's 7, a 1.33 rating at the Challenger stage over 7 maps, man. That's impressive.
Yeah, that's when the street started saying Zorte, started chanting it.
Yeah. At the time, it was really him and Shalfie, who we saw play earlier this week, but already unfortunately get eliminated from the Blast bounty. That Shalfie, Zorte, Op rifle combo. So much promise. What's Jerry up to?
Yeah, what is Jerry up to?
What's Jerry up to? Having a good time. Probably streaming. I think I saw him streaming. I believe he was streaming yesterday.
He would be.
That's true.
He would be a great streamer.
Yeah, that's what Jerry was doing. He was streaming during Navi versus Imperial Javelins. He is currently officially benched on Paravision.
Jerry, very funny man.
Very funny Jerry.
Funniest Jerry that we know of.
My favorite Jerry.
Jer Bear.
I look at this map pool, Mohan, and I think to myself, there's no way Mouse lose it.
Yeah, it is a thing where Bad Boom are a new team, so yeah, it makes sense that they're going to have some new maps.
Пока у нас затихье переборей, готовятся выбегать у нас команда Блимолза. Есть инфа по двоим.
Flush out USPs, and still they manage a kill in lower tunnels. Siren hangs on.
Ебало до Изорта. Ну что еще было? Ну не ожидаю второго там.
Of Chopper's spirit back in the time.
Yes, that's right.
So nice to have him in this project as well, right? Again, promising pieces all coming together. I think BetBoom have assembled a team that has provably shown promise. Every single piece of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, composition makes sense, and Siren obviously an anchor.
Кстати, следующий турик у нас это опять же Blast. Только если у нас тут Blast Bounty онлайн, да, то этот у нас будет через 6 дней. Стартует у нас 23 числа. Я его стримить вряд ли буду. Да, блядь, посмотрим, как будет у меня настроение. Четвертьфиналы. И вот полуфинал и гранд-финал. Чем, блядь, не написано даже. 23 число еще что, это уже следующая неделя, я не знал, просто это факт. До завтра 18 суббота, 19 воскресенье, 20 понедельник, 21. А, ебать. 22 среда, 23 четверг. Это в четверг. Я, скорее всего, даже буду стримить финал. Смотрите. Если это будет четверг, то мы, получается, вот стейдж 1. Это четвертьфиналы, полуфиналы, пятница. И... не, я ебать понял. Раз четвертьфинал, 23 числа, 24 пятница. Ебать, мы с вами попадаем на самую охуенную стадию. Мы с вами попадаем на полуфиналы. Мы смотрим полуфиналы. И мы смотрим гранд-финалы. Ну, гранд-финал вряд ли, но полуфиналы смотрим. Дабл.
They threw it all on getting the bomb plant down and then created one bad fight for Mouse, and that was it. So very, very solid attack, and it was just a 1 HE essentially that's done all the damage.
блядь. Осуждаю.
Kind of a flimsy defense here from Mouse that it comes down to, you know, just exertion crawling back through the smoke, but the exec had all its I's dotted and T's crossed. It's that flash right there. It's their basically, you know, we were one opportunity. They even have a second late. They had two at the same time and then one later.
Does Torji have a cutout of himself on his bedroom wall?
Wait, what?
Can we check that, please? Gonna need a Torji cam one more time. Thank you.
Camera?
Is that a cutout of him above his own head?
Or is that Magno Jazz?
Surely not.
It could be Magno Jazz.
Do you have a cutout of yourself anywhere in your house, Launders?
No, Fragadelphia did take a cutout of me from Laundersland 1
there
to
was a lot of them. There was a lot of full-scale Launders cutouts.
Yes, I don't have any myself.
4-2 бэтбум, нихуя себе, блять, я бы сказал нахуй.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep myself humble.
You'd be like Tom Cruise in Castaway.
Осуждаю, что на экране ебаная нахуй потная, блять, Вермишель.
Excuse me, not Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Кстати, Броуну как будто может быть пизда. Минус 2 от Бумыча. Есть инфа по Броуну. Броун еще одного убивает, в принципе. Развеянный в пользу Бэтбум. Ну это жестко переводка. И это жестко разыграли под флешку. Нихуя себе, блядь. А ебать, так Бэтбум сейчас выиграет игру еще. Ну тут видно, что они готовились к этому. Они как, блядь, сука, Империал в фее.
There might be a chance for one deciding fight here for Mouse.
Вы видите новую форму Нави? Не знаю, она мне намного лучше нравится, чем прошлая. Сейчас на одном из орки Нави покажу. Вот, это новая. Но Нави. И получается... Блядь.
Looking to stop it with Zorte having been the bomb carrier up in the tunnels. I mean, there's a lot of utility. You'd think Siren or Zorte, somebody's going to chuck one down. They just send Exile over into the A site to clear it all out before they even need to think about bomb. Headshot out of Siren.
Yeah, I mean, and it's key duels like that from Exile that just like, hey, that's the form you want to see from him.
Props to Boomich. Look at this pop-up. Look at this snap.
And the flash. Oh, it's perfect.
2 snaps, in fact, right?
Как глянуть, блядь.
Jumping up with the crosshair in between both and rocking the headshots.
Пизда, короче.
Skinny boom.
Never seen this man flick so fast.
Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту.
Great for Team Bet Boom.
Трофеем. Ну, кстати, этот раунд можно и проебать, в принципе. Вот такие у нас турниры на за прошлый год были. PGL сезон Major. PGL сезон Major Копенгаген 24 года, и Sports World Cup 24, и Суперлига 20 сезона, и Rio 24.
To at least keep them 3v3. Xertion uses this moment to push top mid with the Deagle. Again, seeing nothing, but Axile would have heard that ball back.
Yeah, he would. And Xertion does not stop running. They'll forego any map control they had. He's just got this Deagle in this position, but I don't know what's the next Mao's idea. They're sort of split up.
Blow up.
Xertion shows them the cross.
Тоши хочет сейчас пойти поджать лонг, он это и делает, он поджимает лонг, и он вряд ли банку. Он будет заходить в банку? Он заходит в банку, да. Да, он заходит в банку у нас Торчи. Ой, блядь, Торчи с Юхи. И он, кстати, может, если Бэтбум будет долго мешкаться, он может двоих спокойно, даже троих убивать. Все, есть инфа. Не пикать его. Они угадывают и идут на. Очка ставится. Граната только 2. Молик, флешка. Это все уторщик. Пикает Аксель. Мог умереть, блядь, потому что он так пикнул нахуй. Жестко Аксель сыграл, но Бумыч 17 хп. И пачка не поднимал. Не пойдет, жестко. Жестко.
And that's a play made because of the HP, but it's a smart one. I think even if you
подращил кому-то Бумыч сейчас, если вы видели.
Win the clutch playing standard. A lot of trades go down this round, and it looks like MangoJazz is just gonna win this off of this B kill.
Да, кстати, вот если бы не майонез двоих сейчас не убивал бы, то... I'm
getting a CT spawn off their mid B smoke not only allows them a route out, but it blocks vision from Torzi in B.
Если попал бы, это, блядь, мне кажется, уже 7-й был бы. Ну, 6-2 это уже жестко против Малузов на Дасте, где там они Нави, кстати, выиграли 13-1, блядь. Малузов. Это жестко. I'm still standing.
Feather in the cap of Boomich as far as the calls go so far on map 1 in this series, but he will hit the ground in round 9. We haven't seen this like heavy emphasis on just a straight up B attack, so we'll see if Jimmy can handle the heat. He's got Brolin outside of the doors now, a little occupied with pressure being thrown out by MagnoJazz. Good job to try to draw something else away from sight, but a smoke grenade from Jimmy, is that enough to deter BetBoom, and how does the timing end up playing against or for them?
A second smoke change before a minute will definitely scare you, because you think that long's pushed, you don't have much map control here, but the thing is that BetBoom are still ready to full commit, waiting this out.
Jim Fat Incendiary next. He's got a teammate now on car. That's perfectly placed. Burns them to a crisp and sets himself up perfectly for the triple kill. MagnoJez will exit, of course, with car cleared out. We are talking about Zershin looking to just try to challenge the bomb plant. Bomb is planted. A little bit of extra cash. It's a decent recovery, all things considered, but a big triple and Jimmy's best moment yet.
Dude, Jimmy, like, he's got that brain, right? Like, how many times in this tournament alone have we seen the B defense throw their flash too late, not throw their preemptive smoke or their utility? Jimmy the entire time was so suspicious. He didn't see a single thing, but had that molly out, played off it perfectly. And even his movement as the molly's down, he's just trying to get them to crouch spray to kill him while they're standing in it to take extra damage. So many micro decisions that he's making as an anchor that just show you why he's so good.
You said it at the start of the game, could have been up for Anchor of the Year. A couple key poor performances, maybe take him out of the running.
He was nominated, but, you know, could have won.
Did you vote on the panel for HLTV? May I ask where you had him in your, because it's what, 10 players you have to rank 1 to 10?
We had a few choices. It was not ranking them 1 to 10. I can't remember. I have to go double check.
It's okay, hide your secrets.
Close calls.
Hide your secrets, Launders. Oh, suckered with the timing. Zershin caught with his pants down on the deep side of CT, but at the same time, at least Shuhei is able to recover 1 kill with the long push. As far as the perimeters of the map go, Shuhei attacking this long doors has kind of been one of the positive notes of MOUZ in a half they're currently losing. And oh, would you look at this? Oh, he thought he had it figured out, but Boomich comes in behind him. And with it, man advantage goes back to the T side. MagnoJez, eyes set on mid.
I guess in one sense.
Так, я пропустил один раунд, но я видел сейчас ситуацию, что Сьюхи мог сейчас убивать двоих, но Бумич очень хорошо пошел смог. Прям на него.
You can stop someone from coming through even if you can't see them, and anybody else that walks through your full vision. But he took a step to the side. And now Jimmy taking a risk here, playing a spot that's not safe versus a mid-B setup, but over at Hummer, if no one comes to clear him, maybe he multis.
I think they saw it.
Yeah, there. Oh.
Yeah.
Жестко от сирени.
That little inch of the gun barrel kind of awkwardly sticking through. He tried to turn it once he heard the util. You saw him turn deeper in, but a bit too late. Launders, MOUZ is losing.
They are losing, and I gotta say, Baboom are playing pretty damn well. They're doing some crazy stuff, but not like some of the rounds they're winning. Just solid exec off cat, really good utility. We saw a round with a creative mid-round decision making that they had to go off the beaten path, run through CT spawn to A. They have a clutch in their hands with Zorte, and they have lots of entries from MagnoJez. I feel like it's been a pretty successful debut in terms of going from scrims to officials already for BetBoom.
Because it's 2 months since we've seen the core of BetBoom team in any sort of an official. And then obviously this being their first with this exact roster.
Yeah, it's just that the changes they made are so significant.
Yeah, he sees it.
Did it come through the wall, actually?
Did.
Oh, they gotta fix that.
Yeah, it did.
That hot rod.
That's what you get for playing with flashy skins.
Yeah.
If he was
using
using
play with the M4 A1S Sand Dude.
That doesn't exist, but he could have used the flashback.
That's what BetBoom are, just a giant flashback.
Yeah, right, in many different ways. Well observed, Chev. We just caught every single grenade. I want that noted for the record.
Goat.
That is Chev, ladies and gentlemen, on the 1s and 2s. Four-time major grand finals observer, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 5 now.
I've seen it all, more than anyone else.
Oof. And still humble.
This round's actually going to a long play, but that's the bomb stopped in the doorway at 50 seconds.
Like, Shuhei's trying his absolute damnedest to bail him out of some of these spots.
And you can see that Mouse though are a little scared to over rotate towards A, but they don't need to. They've got 3 here still. Not playing a 2-1-2 setup, and if BetBoom decide to commit, I'm actually surprised they will, because they didn't see any action at middle. They didn't see anyone faking a rotate, so I think they're just kind of crossing their toes and hoping. There's no op here on the corner, no one playing Goose, but there is. 20 seconds, good luck with this.
It'll come down to Torsi actually finding some kind of a hold, but first shot rings out with no
W или не W? Ну, как будто гусь не чекнут. Чекают гусь, убивает Бумыч гусь. Не знаю, ли есть инфа, я отходил, не знаю, ли есть инфа по Сюхе это, но скорее всего по одному точно так есть. Кстати, Сарен, наверное, не знал об пачке, но похуй, пачка стоит.
It could still haunt them though, because in that flustered moment, look now as BetBoom are corralled on this catwalk. No actual cat presence, and so the CTs just start to
Зорта -1.
Oh, it's another 1v3 attempt. Missed shots coming out of Zorte, but he gets back.
Блять, ебать, если он бы сейчас попал.
Indeed.
One kill could have led to 2 right there. NT to Zorhe, good retake overall from Mouse, but man, with the amount of time left over, besides Siren forgetting he had the bomb down, they pulled off that exact same cat attack, had the scaling flashes that worked on Torsi last time, used it to perfection, and to have this much utility this late into the round, that is really good forward thinking. They're very prudent about this whole situation. And like you said, because they took so long to organize, they couldn't get those good after plant spots, they couldn't get deep control on cat. So that does cost them, but I think it's even a miracle that they get the bomb down in the first place.
Now that's a TeamSpeak listen in I'd pay for.
7-4, в принципе, 7-5 очень хороший счет для BetBoom, просто майонез выходит, получает пизды от Торчи.
Sometimes emotion is universal. Panic? You can always understand a good panic.
Panic.
Words are just air vibrations.
We're paid to make air vibrations. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
How do we manage that?
Kind of magicians.
Ну, чисто. Нам час.
In the sense that we are clowns.
Yeah. Definitely more clown than wizardry.
Бумыч чисто раскинул сам по себе, такой, да, мне похуй на вас, друзья.
Final round of the half.
Перетягивается у нас Сершин в КТ. Дает. Конечно.
Ooh, it's a good party trick until you get out balloon animaled. Then you're just the guy who made subpar balloon animals.
No, they were good. They were good. Really good swords. The bomb is up here on Boomich by himself for the moment.
That's crazy, dude.
We're trying to do it a little differently here.
Yeah.
Подожди, пачка первая.
He gives it over. Oh boy, down goes the T. Axel, where are you going? Into the CT spawn, he will hop.
They have the bomb.
Yep, it's scooped
В принципе, может быть 84
in the process of trying to still pull this one off. Long fight could go well. They try to double peek, but it's back around the corner for Shuhei. Cap pressure comes out. Can't stop the play. Siren's unable to pull anybody off. Sorte, not even given a chance to go 1v3 this time around. 3 attempts for him, 1 put to the board. It's still 7 on the half, but a recovery from Mouse towards the end. with $30,000 on Mouse's head post a excellent start to their season. Lauders 7 rounds on the T side of Dust 2 could have very well been an 8th had maybe they had more time in that sketchy little post plan. And of course, a couple clutch attempts that don't go their way as Zorte attempts 3 on the half.
7-5 счет, забирается пистолетку, я думаю, это ГГ.
Like BetBoom were definitely more inspiring in the first 12 of this map.
Yeah, only good things to say really about like a lot of their moves, and everything is extra special considering it's just a debut for them. They're going to have measured expectations coming into this. Even though there's a big bounty on the line, it's another game where we see they have the quality and they have the depth, it looks like, to take this. It's a matter of
Поссал и уходит дальше.
How will they feel when they get closer to the finish line?
This game's been going on, and very subtly it feels like everybody's contributing.
Готовится под флешку Бумыч.
No star moment, just
that flash is
hang on to.
Звезда. Да. И -3. -3. Он сейчас убьет. Да, пизда ему будет. 5-0. Как надо делать? Тут без вариков.
Moved right into that corner. Obviously, he only does that because he has teammates behind him as well. But it covers 2 options and created a great fight for him. Can't ask for more. Where are they?
I mean, they came to him and he delivers. Brolin scoops up the next 2. Cyclone, happy about that one. Let's see if Mouse can convert and tie the game at 7.
Is that AK really expensive here that Jimmy has? Or those papers?
Yeah. I mean, those are papers.
But that's
those
still
are paper
really expensive.
But I think that's like a 557 pattern.
Yeah.
557 pattern. Oh my god, chat 557 pattern. Hot Wurst, little sausage charm.
Was?
Met Onapixel for the first time at the HLTV Awards.
Yep. Same.
Nice to see him out of the house. I think hopefully he walks away with the feeling that he's part of our community, and we all feel like he should be.
It was his first IRL stream,
hanging out
really
with
cool.
us. Yes.
Was that the first event that he's been to?
I think maybe so. I mean, even the likes of Donna. Donna had only met him once in person.
Right.
And that's saying something.
Him, Donna, Arrow, I think they had a little excursion together.
Exactly. Like she's his handler, you know? You'd think they'd hang out more often.
Yeah, maybe she just doesn't let him out the house that often.
Oh, that's what it must be.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
He was okay.
Did you see the Magnus Carlsen tweet?
Yes.
About the jeans?
I'm a fashion icon first and a chess player second.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Oni also came 2nd place in the shooting range competition that HLTV put on.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the HLTV Awards. Activities organized by them ahead of the pre-mixer.
I didn't know they were going to give out actual trophies for those.
It's true.
Yumi won bowling.
Yumi was the best bowler in the Counter-Strike community. Shout out Yumi one time.
He also got 2nd in something else, right? Or was there more than 2 competitions? You were there, weren't you?
I was crapping my pants trying to prepare for the show.
Oh, okay.
I partook in no activities.
Oh, okay.
The only activities I did
next
was
year I'll be there for the activities.
Hanging out with Freya.
Boring.
God. Don't get me started. I thought Hugo was bad enough.
He said he wasn't going to listen to us cast today, but you know he was joking.
Of course. What else does Hugo have to do other than watch Counter-Strike?